This is what the goal was. It was literally to destroy your family. I mean, this is evil stuff. This is not just trying to inform or help people. These are predators who oftentimes are motivated by lust, literally want to sleep with someone who's married and Mormon and want to get them out of that marriage, and are planting seeds of predatory doubt to destroy your family. We've seen it enough, and it's time to call it like it is. How many more bishops' wives do we need to leave and abandon their families? And I know students whose parents have done this, and it's because of people like John DeLynn, which is why he is a homewrecker for profit.
Hey there, YouTube. I'm Forrest, Latter-day Skeptic. It's often said that atheists and ex-Mormons don't stand for anything, that we just try to tear down what others have. They have Mormonism, and we just want to take that away. They have their faith, and we just want to take it. The Renlunds even gave a talk that had an analogy that described this exact perception. Check it out.
Imagine having capsized in a boat while sailing in the ocean. You're wearing a life preserver and have been swimming for hours toward what you believe is the nearest shore, but you can't be sure.
So there we are, lost in this sea of life, needing a rescue, and this old guy comes and saves us.
You also notice that the fisherman wears worn boots and blue jeans. The sweatband on his hat is stained, and he seems to be hard of hearing.
You note that the boat is well used and that there are dents in the right side of the bow. Some of the paint is chipped and peeling. You see that when the fisherman relaxes his grip on the rudder, the boat pulls to the right. You begin to worry that this boat and this captain cannot provide you the rescue you need.
After being saved, we point out flaws in the boat and flaws in the old man. We get angry about things that don't matter that much to our rescue.
You demand that the fisherman stop the boat and let you back in the water. Even though you're still more than 20 kilometers or 12 miles away from shore, you can't stand the idea of being in the boat. With sadness, the fisherman stops the boat and helps you back in the ocean. You're on your own again.
So there you have it. We just want to criticize this nice old man's imperfect boat. In fact, we don't like this raggedy boat so much that we'd rather jump back in the water with little hope of being rescued in the future. This is how anti-Mormon arguments are being perceived. This perception could not be further from the truth. We point out flaws in the boat because we're trying to fix the boat. We're trying to make things better. We're trying to build a better craft.
Lehi's dream also includes a warning. On the other side of the river is a spacious building with people of all ages pointing their fingers, mocking and scoffing at the righteous followers of Jesus Christ. The people in the building are ridiculing and laughing at those keeping the commandments, hoping to discredit and deride their faith in Jesus Christ and in his gospel, while the pointers and the scoffers wail day and night on their internet megaphones. President Nelson explained, "The adversary is quadrupling his efforts to disrupt testimonies and impede the work of the Lord."
We don't just criticize religion because we stand against something. We criticize religion because of what we stand for. I know that's the case for many ex-Mormons and atheists, and even dangerous activists. For every stance against Mormon doctrine or a Mormon truth claim, there's a stand for something else. Let's look at a few analogies to see what I mean. Imagine yourself being an abolitionist in the 1800s. You fight against slavery with all the energy you have. You cannot stand the practice and you want it gone. Now imagine your response if a slave owner came over and said, "Why are you just trying to tear down what I have? What are you trying to build up yourself? Why are you just tearing down?" How would you respond? Do you stand for nothing? Maybe that analogy didn't convince you. What if you were a lawyer arguing against legalized abortion? Are you just trying to take away the rights of others? Do you really stand for nothing? Or what if you know somebody that believes the center of the earth is made out of cotton candy? Is correcting them just tearing down their belief? And what if you personally don't know what actually is at the center of the earth? Is it wrong to tell them that this belief is obviously incorrect? Because cotton candy is man-made, and we have reasons to believe that nobody has put cotton candy at the center of the earth. But why are you just attacking their belief? As I'm sure you figured out, in each of these cases, the reason for our resistance to the status quo is because of what we stand for. Let's take a look at a few examples that you'll still see today.
Tonight, Brigham Young University is being investigated by the federal government for how it disciplines LGBTQ students. Our partners at the Salt Lake Tribune took a deep dive into the investigation and broke the story today.
Fox 13's Emily Tenser spoke with students. She joins us live tonight from Provo. Emily.
An investigation into BYU's treatment of LGBTQ+ students has been ongoing since the end of October. It has the queer community here on campus feeling hopeful, but also skeptical.
The Mormon Church defines marriage as the union between a man and a woman. Gay members of the church can't be married to their partners in the temple, and therefore they can't go to the highest level of heaven with their partners. Is my constant opposition to this just trying to tear down traditional marriage? Is it taking away without really standing for anything? Of course not. When I stand up against Mormon doctrine against gay marriage, I'm standing for the rights and dignity of my gay friends and family. Now, what about the church's ban on women receiving the priesthood? Currently, the church only allows men to have the priesthood. This means that women can't be members of the highest offices in the wards, congregations, or the church at large. They can't be members of the Quorum of the 12, the First Presidency, or be the prophet.
Last year, Kelly helped form a group called Ordain Women, advocating allowing women into the Mormon Church's male-only priesthood.
Mormon bishop excommunicated a woman who demands equal rights inside the church. Women hold many LDS leadership positions, but only men can be priests or bishops. Excommunication is a rare punishment for Mormons. As Ben Tracy reports, the woman who was dismissed calls the action exceptionally painful.
Is my opposition to this ban merely me pointing out flaws in others? Is it me trying to tear down the traditional roles of family? No, it's me standing for what I believe is the proper treatment of women. How about the fact that the church still asks 12-year-olds about their sexual habits? In temple interviews, bishops are usually sitting one-on-one asking little kids about their sexual purity. Although due to public outcry, parents now have the option to sit in on these interviews with their kids. This is a great example of us fixing the boat. But is this opposition to adult men asking little kids about their sexual habits just trying to find fault in others? Is it just a way to cast doubt on other people's faith? Is it just another crack in the boat that we shouldn't complain about? Of course not. This is standing for the protection of children and for them having a safe environment at church. Lastly, what about the famous CES letter? This is one of the most significant documents highlighting the many issues in church history and church doctrine.
In 2012, a Latter-day Saint named Jeremy Runnels was experiencing a faith crisis. He ran into things mostly about church history that he hadn't heard before, that rattled his testimony. By summertime, he no longer believed in the truth claims of the church. The next year, Jeremy's Latter-day Saint grandfather put him in contact with a friend who worked for the church education system. He was a CES director. The CES director asked Jeremy to send him a list of issues that had caused him to lose his faith with the intention of helping him out. Jeremy's response was an 84-page document that came to be known as the CES letter. And long story short, it's caused some people to leave the church.
Many see this letter as just another way to tempt people to leave the church. It's another tool in Satan's toolkit. It's a way to attack the faithful and get them to abandon ship. But that's not what this document is at all. This document is a stand for truth. It's a stand for honor and integrity. So obviously there's a huge misperception about atheists and ex-Mormons. And I don't just blame the faithful for this misperception. We need to do better in our own PR game. We can emphasize what we stand for more often, rather than just what we stand against. In all of our fights and discussions and debates, we have something that we're standing for. Let's not give anyone an excuse to misperceive our passion for religious change. For those of you that have accused me and my community of just trying to tear down faith, remember that we're fighting for something. We're fighting for gay people. We're fighting for women. And oftentimes, we're fighting for truth. That's all I've got. I'm Forrest, Latter-day Skeptic. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.